Good afternoon, everyone. I'm from Team Orbis. My name is Sachin Sablok, and from past 4 months, we have been going through a lot of moon and a lot of space technology. So this is our journey, and we have created a similar similar brief for the project. So we started off to understand that how does a human actually work out in the earth, on the earth. So he's a social animal. So over the past historical civilization, we have seen how the man is actually moving around. He's actually being very competitive. He's created these societies around the world. All right. He's actually moved on, created revolutions, and he's always been competitive. He's always been aggressive about things, always been violent about these things. But we have to understand that he's trying to create a balance right now. So when you see this kind of balance happening, we have to understand that these progressions which always happen is due to these habits of the man. And he's always made a society in the end. So no matter what you do, he'll end up making a society. And this society is going to go up on the moon now. So it's very important for us that what's going to be welcome when the human actually enters the moon surface. The first thing you see is the gravity. So the gravity is quite different out there. It's 1/6 of Earth's percentage. So how we design anything is going to be complemented with respect to that. So the next question is, how do you stay humane in an inhumane environment? Like it has no atmosphere, it has no oxygen, it's hostile. How do you actually create a humane environment for this person? So again, going back to the basics, what does a human do on the earth? He actually has to have a good human mind so that he can create some paradigm shifts, and hence the revolution starts. And when the revolution starts, the tradition and the culture comes forward. But for us, it was very important because this is the main crux of our theme. We have unknown and known parameters. What are the known parameters? It's basically the physical aspects, where the bone density is actually having a problem, the cardiovascular problems, the visual monotony, because you are going to go on the moon and you're not going to see any atmosphere. So that's going to be a big problem for you. The mental aspects is the unknown factor, because when you go up there, you would never know what the mind would go wrong with. You'll have stress, anxiety, and you would have all kinds of depression. The discipline has to be followed, the routine has to be followed, so it has to have that. So this is the unknown parameter. The thing is, we have to adapt to live. We've been doing that since civilizations, we have to do the same there. So the human mind would be working with the physical and also the mental aspect. But we have to provide the environment for the same. And that's what our crux would be. We also have to make sure that the person who's going up there should actually perform well. But to perform well, he needs to motivate himself. How does he motivate himself? So our ideation and inception was quite simple. We see what is already been there, who's designing it, what is there ready for us to see. So we see such structures around, like how we see other civilizations. This is what is a hypothetical situation right now. And we see that we have some opportunity in between the connectors. So we started streaming down our process that maybe we could target these areas. And we chose one of them. Like one of these connecting areas would be our design proposal. That's where Orbis comes in. So Orbis is basically a device which looks like this. I'll explain you in the process. It has a few features. So it's actually having a servo motor, which I'll zoom in and tell you. It has a treadmill which will be moving, and the application will see how it works. This is the servo motor, and why we're using servo motors is because of the gravity. Since you cannot add weights, you have to have something which retracts and attracts so that your muscle density works. You'll see that how it works. And then we have added on a few screen elements which would actually complement the artificial environment. But the question was, why circle? Why are we going with circle? So first thing, it's modular. There are so many payloads which are going, it can easily fit into a modular device. Also, it's structurally feasible. Fascinating fact, moon has 3 earthquakes every freaking day. So you have to be having a structurally stable structure. And this happens not because it has a molten lava inside, it happens because there's an earth gravitational pull against it. Free movement. When you have a device like this, because the conductor is there, you just have to pass by. you have to understand when a man is walking on the Earth, he's walking straight. But on the moon, he cannot walk straight. His CG tilts. So you have to have a surface which is much more different than a flat surface. A circular device would actually blend into the moon environment. So talking about the architectural point of view, we can easily blend it. So this is the modular thing where you have two habitats. Maybe you can multiply a device and create a pathway. So this is how it works. So the mental and the physical aspect. So we're coming down to the design now. How does the physical aspect actually correlates with mental, so that it's a two-way thing? The physical health conditions. So first, how does the human man react to training? That is strength. He would get strength. The other thing would be group workout, so that there's competitiveness. He's challenging every time. Gamification is necessary because if he's not gamifying everything, there's also be a boring life. And creative life, creative measures. We have to give that opportunity for him to work. Let him give a stroke of brush, let him use his art and skills, and he'll do wonders. So the cardio, this is the training part. The cardio happens through, so the servo motor is attached there, and then there are resistors. Now mind you, there are no motors there. He's using his own effort. There's no motor so that he doesn't slip off. He uses his own effort. Rowing. Rowing is the best exercise you can do because it at least targets 85% of its muscle density, and it can actually relax his muscles more than ever. Then comes squatting. This is another exercise which you can do with servo motors. The servo motors keeps moving up and down because it has a channel. Then group workouts. So as we showed that it's going to be elongated, you can actually have group workouts happening together. So you can compete and challenge, and then other parameters can be set. And you can just not do this, you can do other things too. You can play games also. You create a harness and you can gamify a tug of war. Something like this also. Maybe you have to pull and you have to reach that target. You can be creative there. Other things would be, since we are using the touch panels and entity, you can actually create curiosity in what they can actually gamify. So this is an interesting part where you have these two men playing. Then you have these lighting which appear inside the tunnel, and then you can start playing a different game, something like this. So it gives them more freedom to do whatever they want to. But we have to understand they are humans. Come on. And we have to give them some other aspects too. So we target the physical one, now the mental part. So this is a two-way thing, remember? So the mental part, how will it affect the physical part now? So integrated isolation. Now he's not working in groups or activities, he's working in isolation. So his artificial environments would actually create connectivity with his loved ones if he wants to get connected. Or a different thing. He can practice yoga for his wellness, or he can meditate. Sorry, I just skipped one. I'm so sorry about that. Yeah. So this is the artificial environment where he can choose from many options, and he can create whatever environment he wants to be comfortable in. He can practice yoga, or maybe if this doesn't suit him, he can do it in this way. Whatever he likes, he can choose it. Many in body, one in mind. This is the main concept in the end, because at the end, that one person has to take a challenge, and he has to make sure that the mission continues. So this is these small elements which will help him. And we added out some cool effects too, if you want to party or do something else. So this is just a small step. Right now we are in this stage right now. We are building it, and we're going to launch it pretty soon. 2019, China has already, the rover has reached there, and there are 4 more missions in the next few weeks. So it's quite exciting here for the moon missions because it started in 2019. So it's pretty cool. And we're going to reach there in 2025, the first manned mission, which will be carried out after 4 years. So our future civilizations would be looking like this. And this is just a small step towards that. So indirectly, we're trying to bring Earth to the moon. So I would like to end with the last fact. There is one thing which is already planned, which has been happening right now. Many people use it on the Earth, and it's going to be on the moon soon. What is that one thing which you think it is? It's communication, 4G. Finland would be the first country in February getting 4G data from the moon back on the Earth. You can go to Finland and actually see live data transfer happening there. So that's one thing which is coming up. So thank you very much.